This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Friday, almost the weekend. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
Never has the weekend been more anticipated than this one, huh? Wow. It is September the 15th. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins and John Scalzi, I'm sure. Looking forward to a nice weekend, free of a honey-do list, perhaps?
No.
Or a very long honey-do list.
No.
No,
you know
this
weekend,
what?
Linda.
This weekend for me is going to be cleanup weekend, and there's a lot of debris that needs to be removed from my yard. So it's going to be a busy weekend, but, be outdoors, fresh air, get some sunshine. It's a good thing. Anyway, look at this. This is a map nobody wants to see, right? Jose, tropical storm off the Florida coast. Who wants that? But don't worry, all models continue to show that storm moves away from us. I show it to you because, oddly enough, it is going to impact our weather in a way that I think you're going to like. Right now we have a few showers in progress, a little bit of fair weather cloudiness moving over the peninsula. But other than that, things look pretty good. We did have some heavy thunderstorms around yesterday, but they were short-lived, and luckily they weren't over any of the big catchment basins, so that's good news. As far as the shower you see on your screen, it's in the process of falling apart, so we're not too terribly worried about that one. Daytime highs today, though, will be warm, and I know there's so many of you without AC who are just had it with the heat, but it's going to be another 90-degree day today, and the humidity will again be high. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
Talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic right now, taking a broad brush look at the Suncoast. We'll see a couple of blots there on the interstate. Nothing major to report at this hour, so we'll keep an eye. We also hear that the traffic lights are all now plugged back in, and that indeed is good news. There's a closer shot of Manatee and Sarasota County. Nothing to speak of, really. So that's all clear. We'll check back in 15 minutes. Right now it's 5:02 on your Friday morning.
Happening now across the Suncoast, thousands of Florida Power and Light customers are once again waking up in the dark.
We are staying in touch with FPL to get the very latest updates as they work to get all power back on. Right now, this is a live look at the FPL staging area at Roberts Arena at the fairgrounds. Crews are in and out around the clock trying to restore your service safely and as quickly as possible. At the very latest, they hope to have all customers plugged back in on the 22nd. That is 1 week from today. Now let's take a look at the latest numbers. At last check, Manatee County still has more than 35,000 customers without power. Sarasota has 60,000 customers without power. Our crew is camped out at that staging area this morning in case they have any major breakthroughs in getting the lights back on here on the Suncoast.
A Bradenton sewage pipe ruptured during Hurricane Irma, and people who live in a development close by are now forced to live with a horrible stench for days.
Not good. Our Rick Adams has more from West Bradenton.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of days for folks who live around here. Not only have they had to deal with Hurricane Irma, they've also had to deal with a raw sewage spill.
The smell was rotten, so you can, anything, it's like you were standing in the sewer.
That's what James Farr and his neighbors had to deal with the last few days in their Lakeside South development in Bradenton. A 10-inch pipe had burst at 43rd Avenue West on Monday, flooding the area with raw sewage.
It was coming down from over there, the bowling alley, and each time you'd look, there was more coming. And by the time I looked again, this whole thing was full of that stuff.
City officials say that the age of the pipe combined with Hurricane Irma is to blame. Crews were able to put a stop to the spill.
There was some leakage into some yards. We got that cleaned up. The spill is generally contained at this point, but there's obviously going to be, I think, a couple more weeks of cleanup.
The full cleanup of this raw sewage spill can't come soon enough for James Farr and many others.
You could smell it inside your house. It was awful.
And although this is now fully contained, city officials tell us it'll take a few weeks to have this fully repaired. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Sarasota police collecting donations and supplies for their law enforcement counterparts in the Florida Keys. The storm devastated that area, leaving residents and law enforcement without resources needed for relief efforts. So donations are being accepted at the Sarasota Police Department headquarters near Payne Park until 3 trailers are full of emergency supplies. Monetary donations also being accepted through the Sarasota Police Foundation. And they're also partnering with Marina Jack, Voigt Brothers Construction, Terry's Plumbing, and Larry and Linda Twill. They are collecting non-perishable food, water, first aid kits, tools, flashlights, generators, and much more.
Well, good news for those who need gasoline. Tankers are once again arriving at Florida's ports. Big concerns remain for the Port of Key West, though, where communications have been limited and a damage assessment has yet to be done. Florida ports have been fully reopened or opened with restrictions as channels continue to be cleared of debris. Port Everglades, Port Tampa Bay, and Port Canaveral, which handle most of the state's fuel operations, have seen an increase in oil tankers arriving.
Those vessels have been coming in over the last day or so, and those trucks are leaving the port with gas and working their best to get to as many gas stations as possible, and then turning around and going up and filling up again and headed back to the next gas station. So working nonstop to make sure that we're getting gas out there.
Wheeler says it is still too early to estimate the impact of the hurricane on the container ship and cruise industry.
Well, here's some good news. Gas prices will start to ease up. It could still take a while to see pre-Harvey prices, though. The price of a gallon of regular is now $2.65, AAA tells us. That's 2 cents down from a week ago when prices were recorded at their highest for 2017. The cost of gas shot up 32 cents in the 2 weeks when Houston refineries were closed due to Harvey. The storm forced about 27% of the nation's refineries to shut down, but the high price of gas coupled with cheap crude oil have now spurred refineries into action. They are currently making as much gas as possible to reap the profits.
All water has been restored to the City of Venice residents. The latest areas that had water restored are Groveland Avenue, Myrtle Avenue, and School Street. Water has been restored and the area is under a boil water advisory for drinking and cooking for at least 72 hours and until that boil water notice has been removed.
Until all the power is restored in Sarasota County, those without power are being asked to limit their water usage as well. This includes flushing toilets, washing clothes, washing dishes. A number of lift stations are down, and until power is restored, overusage of water in these areas may cause sewage to overflow.
And some good news ahead of your morning drive. All Sarasota County traffic lights are once again working. The county and sheriff's office tweeted the announcement overnight, thanking FP&L and the county teams for all of their hard work.
YMCAs in Manatee County are offering those without power a chance to get a hot shower and charge their phone or even get a workout. They'll remain open and free to anyone who needs a little help now through September 24th. That's a week from Sunday. The Y branches are in Bradenton, Parrish, Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch YMCA also offering a day camp for children who are out of school and whose parents are working, but the camp is $60 for members and non-members.
Well, the Suncoast is still approved for a disaster declaration, which means people can apply for federal disaster assistance. Sarasota and Manatee counties are included in the major disaster declaration. You can sign up for help at disasterassistance.gov. We've put a link to it on our website at mysuncoast.com with more information about how to apply. But you will need to give them your address and private insurance information. It also helps to upload pictures and documents that support your application. FEMA will send you application status updates either by text or email. And if you have any questions, you can call FEMA at 1-800-462-7585. They have someone waiting to answer your calls from 7 in the morning until 11 at night.
A wildlife center on the Suncoast is asking for help to treat some small victims of Hurricane Irma. The Wildlife Center of Venice says it has 140 squirrel patients. Most are babies. Wow. Also rabbits and birds and other wildlife. That's pretty cute. The center is in desperate need of stackable clear totes with lids and heating pads. Donations can be dropped off at the center, which is on Border Road.
The flags of the United States and the state of Florida will fly at half-staff this Saturday to honor 2 law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty during Hurricane Irma. On September 10th, Hardee County Sheriff's Deputy Julie Ann Bridges and Sergeant Joseph Osman of the Florida Department of Corrections were both killed in a traffic accident. They were working to help prepare their communities for the approaching storm. In honor of Deputy Bridges and Sergeant Osman, Florida Governor Rick Scott has ordered all flags to be lowered to half-staff from sunrise to sunset on Saturday, September 16th.
And organizers of the 2017 World Rowing Championships at Nathan Benderson Park are getting back on track now that Hurricane Irma has passed. The event is partnering with several organizations in the area. Their goal is to celebrate cancer survivors and raise donations for breast cancer research.
I think the important part is that, like everybody's talked about, this is going to be a really huge event. This is worldwide. So to be able to capture that audience to fight against breast cancer, I think is going to be a really big deal. We have a lot of spectators coming, so I think it'll be great to provide all that awareness to the charities that we have coming.
So before and during the big event, the championship is hosting several special events dedicated to the fight against breast cancer. On September 22nd, Macy's at the UTC will hold a fashion show with local youth rowers walking as the models. UTC will also light up pink on October 1st at the start of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There will also be a Row for the Cure Ergathon on the last day of competition. Ergathon. Stationary rowing machines will be used, so no rowing experience is needed. You'll be able to go head-to-head with Olympic medalists, pro athletes, and celebrities. That doesn't sound good. No wagering on that one.
Yeah. Well, that's so good that they're being able to, do so much for breast cancer awareness.
That's wonderful. You know the other reason I like that story so much? When you hear a story about a not-for-profit fundraiser right before weather, you know we're getting back to normal.
Very true, very true.
Which I like.
Yes.
Showers in the forecast. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, thank you, John. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, your first alert traffic, and how one Suncoast church is doing their part to aid those affected by Irma.
And later in the hour, the latest on North Korea's missile launch over Japan. Stay with us.
The 11 o'clock advisory, the new update now is suggesting that the tornado watch is over, although sometimes tornadoes do occur outside of the watch area.
In for now, because first responders still have to assess the area.
As information is coming in, we're just trying to make sure that it gets on air, on digital, and on the phone.
Storm's impact goes well beyond, damage and power outages. It also affects sports.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradax and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree temperature. We have a dew point to match. 100% relative humidity. It's going to be another kind of steamy, hot, thick day. Thicky? It's going to be a thicky day. Hot, thicky day out there. with a lot of humidity around in the afternoon, and I know a lot of folks are still struggling without AC, but that's the way it's going to be. The good news is maybe over the weekend we might get a little reduction in some of that humidity. We'll talk about that in a sec. Thicky, that's right. 75 degrees. I think Jacqueline's tweeting that right now. 75 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish coming in at 76, 77 in Bradenton, Venice coming in at 77, Boca Grande coming in at 77 as well, and Northport comes in at 76 degrees. So across the region right now, let's take a look at, for the last time, I think, the river flood warnings. I just want to bring these up because there are still 3 that are problematic, but this one is the Peace River at Zolfo Springs on the way down, okay? At Mayaca State Park, no longer in major flood stage, now in a moderate flood stage rather, and it has crested. I took a look at some of the discharge rates just a few minutes ago, and it's gone from 10.3 gauge height down to 10.1 gauge height. So a clear indication that we're making progress with that river. And then the Peace River at Zolfo Springs also having crested on the way down. So good news for you residents. Hang in there. I know it takes a little while before downstream crests, but you know, I think we're looking better today than we did yesterday, so good news. As far as the showers go, they're in the dissipating stage. You know, you get a little bit of cloud cover. You might get a sprinkle, Anna Maria Holmes Beach, Upper Longboat, coastal areas of Manatee County, but we're not looking at any kind of heavy rainfall here for morning commutes. That's the good news. These showers that build a little bit later on in the afternoon will most likely build in inland areas. And then they'll kind of drift back toward the coast as they die out, coming in sort of an opposite direction than what we see currently. So the rainfall futurecast kind of shows those showers building in inland areas, and then again tomorrow we'll see them along the coastline. Saturday, however, I think will be a drier day. We do have a thunderstorm chance for today, and yeah, you know, there'll be a few thunderstorms around tomorrow as well, but just typical thunderstorms. And here's why I think we'll have some drier weather. There's Jose. Jose is now a tropical storm. It's no longer a hurricane, but it's a strong tropical storm, and there is some potential for redevelopment and strengthening. All forecast models carry it a little bit closer to the state of Florida before it starts lifting northward. And as it lifts northward, we'll watch a high-pressure ridge from the bottom lift northward with it. As that happens, we get some drier air in here, we reduce our rainfall chances, and we look for better weather. So, isolated showers today. Partly sunny skies, warm, humid, and then tomorrow and I think through the weekend, some drier conditions will prevail. We'll be looking for about an 80% chance of rainfall today. Tropical Depression 14 has formed. A new one, right? Just what you want. Plus this one, this cluster of showers, has an 80% chance of showers and development as well. If you look at all of the forecast models, though, Jose continues to move away from the United States. And 14, we have plenty of time to watch because it's on a forecast track that carries it way far away from us, even 5 days out. Beach and boating forecast calls for a northeast wind coming in at 5 knots to 10 knots. And as we head into the weekend, we're looking at some fine weather there, too. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic this morning. Looks like if you're heading into downtown Bradenton, taking the DeSoto Bridge, you will see some congestion. In Sarasota County, looks like your biggest slowdowns are on Clark Road heading towards I-75 and Bee Ridge heading towards 41. As we head south into South County, there are some slowdowns as you head towards I-75 on 681, but other than that, Business 41 is looking pretty clear this morning at 519.
Well, back to normalcy. The Sarasota Farmers Market will go on as scheduled tomorrow morning.
That's some good news. It opens tomorrow at 7 a.m. The popular event will be held along Lemon Avenue, as it always does. It was canceled last weekend to prepare for Hurricane Irma. Organizers say there is no better time to get out and support the farmers market, as many of the vendors have been impacted financially by the storm. They're asking people to buy local during this time of cleanup and rebuilding. Again, it is open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. I certainly love going to the farmers market, and that sounds relaxing after the stressful week we've had.
It'd be good bonding. It's funny.
Yeah.
You usually go, we usually go, but
we never run into each other.
See each other. It's crazy. I hear you're there, but I never see you.
Well, across the Suncoast, community members are now offering a helping hand of support to those in need after the hurricane.
Reporter Kevin Fry has more from Manatee County.
One bag at a time.
No.
Bayside Church is helping their community bounce back.
We just want to help everybody and love everybody, and that's kind of what Bayside's all about.
All day, teams of volunteers sorted through mountains of food before handing it over to neighbors in need. many without power. This just days after Irma ripped through the Sunshine State.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Always.
But they didn't just stop locally. They also distributed full pallets of food and water across the Suncoast to places like Hardee County, Fort Myers, some of the hardest hit areas.
It is the greatest honor to be able to take something that I believe so much in, and that's honestly just the love of Jesus, and to be able to mobilize it.
Kristen Becknell works for Bayside Community Church. She's encouraging those who can to donate to help pass along love to those still hurting.
Baby supplies, diapers, baby formula, baby food. We're looking for canned, non-perishable food items as well.
The church is doing other outreach too. In just the past few days, more than 900 volunteers took to the streets, helping clear debris and clean up communities.
I think it's helped us more than helping them. I don't know. It's just, we just feel the love for everybody in the family. We just love them and we just want to help them and do what we can. We're just glad they're safe.
In East Bradenton, Kevin Fry for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
It's so great to see the whole entire community getting together and really giving back to those that are affected by the power outages and so much more.
Out of adversity comes bonding, something like that.
Yeah.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast Facebook, introducing its own variation of the snooze button.
And coming up at 5:30, one soldier killed, 7 others injured at a North Carolina Army base following a firing range incident. We'll have those stories when we come back.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-319-0237.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
We'd love to hear from you. There's our addresses. You can write to us. Check out our Facebook pages. We all post various items about the storm, about life in the Suncoast, you name it.
Yeah, and since it is Friday, that means it is Facebook Friday. So we will be posting a Facebook Live at 8 a.m. this morning on our ABC7 Facebook page. So be sure to tune in. We will kind of go over some of the important things over the past couple days and what you need to know moving forward, and just have a little bit of fun because it's been a little hectic these past couple days.
So that's 8 o'clock. Yeah. 8 o'clock this morning. Go to the ABC7 Facebook page and we'll have some fun with you. So make sure you join in for that.
Well, it is a big day for Samsung and Apple fans. Pre-orders are now being taken for the new iPhone, and Samsung's new flagship phone is also now available.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, pre-orders for Apple's iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are now live as of this morning.
The phones will be released next Friday, starting at $699, and they'll be the most advanced iPhones on the market for exactly 6 weeks until the iPhone 10 is released on November 3rd.
And for Android fans, Samsung's latest edition of its flagship smartphone goes on sale today.
The new Galaxy Note 8 has already received its first update, improving camera stability and wireless charging. Prices start at $930. And Facebook has come up with a new way to keep oversharing friends off your news feed temporarily without hitting the unfriend button.
Facebook is testing a new snooze feature that can temporarily block a person, group, or page. You can hide them and their posts for 24 hours, a week, or an entire month.
You give them a little probation period.
Exactly.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Safelite Auto Glass.
When you schedule with Safelite Auto Glass, you get time for more life. This family wanted to keep the game going.
Hey, Mom, one more game?
With Safelite, you get a text when we're on our way. You can see exactly when we'll arrive.
Sure. Bring it.
I'm Michael with Safelite,
Thanks for coming. It's right over here.
giving you a few more minutes for what matters most. Take care.
Bye. Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch laxatives. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
I tried hard to quit smoking. But when we brought our daughter home, that was it. Now I have Nicoderm CQ.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent your urge to smoke all day.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Every great why needs a great how.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, plugging in the Suncoast. We'll have an update on efforts to restore electricity to storm victims.
Plus, as North Korea fires yet another missile over Japan, South Korea responds with force, and the United Nations Security Council calling an emergency meeting.
And some new drone video in from the battered Florida Keys. Those stories in our weekend forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
I wish they would show you dancing. She likes that opening music so much she actually dances to it.
I'm just trying to keep myself entertained.
I've got some great jokes. Well,
I don't know.
5:30 right now, September the 15th, the Ides of September. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. John, lots of people hoping for some good weather this weekend. What's it supposed to look like?
Don't you know? I think people are going to blow off some steam this weekend, you know, and just kind of relax and just get back in the groove, I think. That's what this weekend is about. You know, it looks pretty good for us, actually, thanks to another tropical system, believe it or not, just off the coast of Florida. And we'll talk about that, well, kind of just way off the coast of Florida. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Right now, we have a few scattered showers around the area, a few clouds as well, passing by from time to time. But we'll start off the day with a partly cloudy to partly sunny sky, transition that into a mostly sunny sky, and then end up with some clouds later in the afternoon once again. Showers that you see just off the coast, they're in the process of falling apart. We have a chance at a shower along the coast today, kind of similar to what we saw yesterday, popping up in an isolated fashion. And then later this afternoon, a better chance of seeing those showers build inland and then slowly drift back to the coast. Daytime high tops out warm near 90. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic, unusual blip there on the screen. At the very top middle of your screen, that's actually 301. It takes a sharp turn and heads toward the interstate. 301 in the, it's actually called northbound, though it's heading eastbound right there. A little slowdown there as you pass Feld Entertainment Studios. Otherwise, nothing major in Manatee County. Sarasota County just showing some slowdowns around Bee Ridge Road. Previous site of some major construction. Maybe it's still some barrels out there now. And inching farther south into South County, nothing much to report at 5:32 on your Friday morning. Happening now across the Suncoast, thousands of FPL customers are waking up again in the dark.
We are staying in touch with FP&L to get the latest updates as they work to get all that power back on. Right now, we're taking a live look at the FP&L staging area at Roberts Arena at the fairgrounds. Crews are in and out around the clock trying to restore your service as safely and as quickly as possible. At the very latest, they hope to have all customers restored on the 22nd. That's exactly a week from today. Now let's take a look at those latest numbers. At last check, Manatee County still has more than 35,000 customers without power. Sarasota has 60,000 customers without power, and our crew is camped out at the staging area this morning in case they have any major breakthroughs in getting those lights back on here on the Suncoast.
Well, some breaking news out of London. More police are investigating reports of a terrorist incident. It began with reports of an explosion in an underground train.
New images are starting to come in out of that area. We have new video just in from London. You can see a heavy police presence there. Police do confirm there was a fire on that train and a number of people are injured. We're working to get more information for you, but witnesses have described seeing passengers with facial injuries. Others have spoken of panic as passengers left the train station at Parsons Green Station. And topping our other news this morning, the latest on the North Korea threat. For the second time in a month, North Korea launched a missile over Japanese airspace.
Not good. Now, the UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting today at the request of the U.S. and Japan. ABC's Lana Zak has the latest.
Within minutes of North Korea's missile launch, South Korea was firing back a warning. The South hitting a target in the East Sea the same distance as the North's launch field in Pyongyang, sending the Hermit Kingdom a clear message. The South, quote, has the power to annihilate North Korea, according to President Moon Jae-in, who called dialogue impossible. The North Korean missile prompted alarms in Japan for the second time in just 17 days. Passing over the Japanese island of Hokkaido, it landed in the Pacific Ocean, traveling about 2,300 miles east. That distance is important, given Kim Jong-un's previous threats against the American island of Guam, located within the strike range of that missile. But President Trump, speaking aboard Air Force One, said he is working with China to contain the threat, and he's trying to reassure Americans.
But believe me, the people of this country will be very, very safe.
U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson went even further in a statement, calling out North Korea's allies by name, saying China supplies North Korea with most of its oil. Russia is the largest employer of North Korean forced labor. China and Russia must indicate their intolerance for these reckless missile launches by taking direct action of their own.
The UN Security Council has called for an emergency meeting at 3 p.m. today. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says that sanctions represent just the floor of possible actions that could be taken against North Korea. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
As mentioned overnight in a show of force, South Korea's defense ministry released these photos of their own missile launch. South Korea says the missile was launched at the same time as the one in North Korea, and they say the missile is capable of striking North Korea's launch site.
An update now. We now know one of the soldiers hurt in an explosion at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, has died. This morning we've learned that accident took place at one of the ranges during a demolition training exercise, but how it happened is still under investigation. The Army says Staff Sergeant Alexander Delida from Massachusetts died in the accident. 7 others were injured. Harvard is revoking an offer for Chelsea Manning, asked to take part in on-campus speaking engagements and events, interacting with undergraduate students. Manning is the former military intelligence analyst who spent 7 years in prison for leaking classified government secrets. The university faced strong backlash after announcing Manning as part of the panel. The CIA director was among those advising against it as well.
While you were sleeping, police in California arrested 9 people that were part of a large protest at the University of California. Take a look at this massive crowd and this view from above. The large demonstration took over the campus to protest a planned speech by a controversial conservative, Ben Shapiro. He was invited to speak by a conservative college group, but the invite sparked outrage. Nearly 300 people listened to his speech while crowds outside continue to grow.
Meantime, President Trump signed a congressional joint resolution that condemns white supremacy. In the White House statement, President Trump said he opposed bigotry in all forms. Congress passed a resolution earlier this week pushing President Trump to put his signature on it. The resolution condemned the violence in Charlottesville and white nationalists, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazis, and other hate groups as well. It also honored Heather Heyer, who was killed amid the racially charged violence that weekend in Virginia.
Despite signing that resolution, President Trump is reviving one of his most controversial moments, repeating his claim that both sides are to blame for the deadly attack last month in Charlottesville. On his way back to Washington from Florida, the president spoke to reporters aboard Air Force One about his meeting earlier in the week with South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, the only black Republican in the Senate.
On both sides. You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent.
On Capitol Hill, Senator Scott responded saying that's who he is. It's who he has been, and I didn't go in there to change who he was. I wanted to inform and educate a different perspective. Well, Hurricane Irma has left numerous Floridians without power, as we've seen.
The frustration starting to build as crew works to bring everything back online. CNN's Ryan Young has the latest.
Follow the black car.
It's just hot. I mean, it's miserable for everybody.
For the 4th straight day, Highlands County residents are facing the sweltering Florida heat without power.
100 in the house.
Okay.
It's hot, very hot.
What's this been like for the last few days?
It's been hell, especially with my kids.
Why? Describe it to us.
Because my kids have, like, one of my daughters, she's 2 years old, and she has, like, heat rash all over her body.
Residents swarmed a handful of gas stations with power. Sheriff's deputies on hand to keep tensions at bay.
Go to pump 23, even if you have to back in. I also own a business in Seabrings. Can't open it up because we have no power and we're missing all our inventory.
Highlands was blindsided Sunday evening when Irma made a shift inland, delivering a painful blow to the county and critically damaging the power grid. 76% of the area's nearly 100,000 residents are still without power tonight.
When the storm passed, went through, we're looking at 99% without power. I mean, which is obviously a staggering number.
Tonight, a small army of utility crews from states as far as Texas working around the clock to restore power to this central Florida county. Governor Scott giving locals a sobering assessment of the damage.
He says you guys are the 2nd hardest hit county in the entire state out of 67.
Power has been restored to critical facilities like the area's 2 hospitals. However, the majority of the county has been warned Their electricity won't return until Sunday, leaving many concerned about the area's large senior population.
Ice now is our biggest need, I would say, in the county, along with gasoline. So because we've been several days, 90 some odd plus heat, these folks don't have any air conditioning, or at least a good majority of them don't.
And while residents remain hopeful that goal will be met this weekend, many still have their doubts.
Yeah, we're not getting power for a while.
Well, NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida is also dealing with damage from Hurricane Irma and is still closed this morning. An aerial survey of the spaceport was conducted earlier this week, and the damage assessment and recovery team identified structures and facilities that were damaged or flooded. The team will compile a damage assessment report over the next several weeks. NASA closed the center ahead of Irma's onset, and only a small team of specialists known as the Ride-Out Team stayed behind. The center will remain closed throughout the day.
Look at this video from a drone flying over the battered the Keys. The video was taken over Key West, actually. People are ready to go home after days in shelters. They're slowly returning to the ruins of their homes. No electricity, no cell phone, no landline service, little food and water. Many areas like the Keys are facing a major supply shortage. So to help, the military dropped off some water and food on Wednesday. Very sad. The Keys are just the epitome of old Florida charm.
Yeah.
And to see that get barreled down is so sad.
I spoke with our emergency management manager, Ed McCrane, who spoke with one of his counterparts down in the Keys, who was saying it's surreal down there. You can't get on, you can't get off. Food, water is not available. Just off the coast, there's an aircraft carrier that's a staging area, so you look out and you see that.
Wow.
It's like a war zone.
Yeah.
War zone down there.
It's going to take a lot to rebuild that area.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Forecast for you in a second.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert traffic. And if you spend your day sitting, you may be putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, how all those hours at your office desk is affecting your health. Up next in Health Smart.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order.
I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
The corners of a city street, a table and a cafe seat. I've got you everywhere I go. You're everywhere, got you everywhere, everywhere I
go. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees the air, temperature dew point 76 as well. 100% relative humidity, wind temperature and dew point are the same. Some starry skies out there. We also got some cloud cover around as well. We've had some showers around this morning that have moved onshore. We've had a couple of larger ones out in the Gulf. Thunderstorms, actually. You may have seen pops of lightning or heard rumbles of thunder, especially if you're in the northern parts of our viewing area. Otherwise, temperatures across the region are kind of uniform. They're in inland areas, generally in the mid-70s. We've got 75 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia coming in at 74, 75 degrees in Myakka. Then along the coastline, just a tad bit warmer. In Bradenton, 76, Parrish, 76, Sarasota, 76, and Vincent, 77. So across the region right now, as I said, we had some of those showers that moved onshore. We've got one thunderstorm just off the coast that has died down. It's now just massive drizzle, basically, kind of falling apart, gradually being blown over toward the coastline in Tampa Bay. If you're traveling over the Skyway Bridge this morning, there could be a little bit of wet roadway surface for the next hour, so we'll watch for that. Otherwise, I think we can expect to see a chance at a shower along the coastline, small one during the morning hours, but it's by afternoon inland where your best chance of showers will be. As far as the rainfall futurecast goes, we'll expect to see those showers build along the coastline, then pop up and drift back toward the coast late in the day. And then tomorrow morning, maybe an isolated shower near the coast. But tomorrow we start into a transition of drier weather that'll last really right straight through the weekend. I think on Sunday it'll probably be hard to find a shower around. The thunderstorm outlook for today shows just standard thunderstorms across the deep south. Things look good. If you know people who are, for some reason, still having difficulty getting back in, I know one person who is trying to travel back to their home just a little to our north and flew in on last Friday, and couldn't get out until yesterday in New York City because there was such a log jam of bookings and such. So if that's the case, the Atlanta airport looks fine, the Raleigh-Durham airport looks fine, and Charlotte airport look fine. Across the Atlantic seaboard, everything's okay. We do have Jose out here, tropical storm now, forecast to maybe become a minimal hurricane once again, possibility as it lifts toward the northeast, getting pretty close to land, and then boom, picked up and carried away by this approaching trough of low pressure. Now the thing is, oddly enough, that as it gets close to us, and as it starts to lift northward eventually, it'll allow this high-pressure ridge to build northward as well, right over the state, reducing our rainfall chances. So isolated showers, partly sunny skies today, and then a drier weekend in store for us. 3 systems we're watching. Tropical Depression 14, probably soon to become Lee. Actually, it's kind of funny that it beat out this area, this cluster of clouds, which has an 80% chance of developing over the next 5 days. That is heading toward, well, it's heading toward the Leeward Islands, it looks like, eventually. So it has the opportunity to pass over the same islands that were so devastated by Irma, possibly. Too early to tell that yet, but I'm sure they're looking at it with interest. Then there's Jose. Jose, again, as I mentioned, a pretty symmetric looking storm, but on the decrease in intensity. 70-mile-an-hour winds now. 14 has 35-mile-an-hour winds. Both of them moving in tracks that really don't bother us so much right now. Of course, we'll have to keep an eye on 14 and see what it decides to do with time, but we have plenty of time to watch it. As far as the beach and boating forecast goes, northeast wind at about 5 knots. And we're looking at 2-foot seas and a light chop, and I think I'm about out of time, so we'll go to the 7-day forecast. and we'll be looking at a 90 for a daytime high with decreasing rain chances. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look at our first alert traffic on your Friday morning. Looks like Manatee County is pretty quiet. Nothing to really report. The bridges are looking great if you're heading into downtown Bradenton. As we head south into Sarasota County, some slowdowns on 41 heading northbound. Also, Bee Ridge Road and Clark Road, as well as Fruitville, seeing some more congestion as people head back to work. And in South County, pretty quiet throughout that area at 5:50 on your Friday. In this hour's Health Smart, for those of us with office jobs, the amount of hours you're sitting quickly accumulates. So no matter how much you exercise, sitting for long periods of time is not good for your health. Kim Hutcherson has details.
The American Heart Association encourages everyone to sit less and move more, but that recommendation might be too simplistic. A new study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine points to a relationship between how much you sit and your risk of an early death. Researchers used hip-mounted accelerometers to measure sedentary time for nearly 8,000 adults over 45. During the 4-year study, the team examined the difference between participants' total daily sitting time and their bout duration, or how long they sat in one sitting. Their findings suggest individuals who move around every half hour have a 55% lower risk of death than those who don't. But individuals who sat more than 13 hours a day had a 200% greater risk of death than those who sat fewer than 11 hours a day. Researchers say the underlying health impacts of a sedentary lifestyle are unclear, but moving around is key to good health. If you find yourself sitting for more than 30 minutes at a time, take 5 minutes for a movement break and stretch your legs. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
You know, this past weekend we were sitting during the hurricane coverage for hours at a time, and my back started to hurt.
Yeah.
My spine thought, stretch, please. So that can be a challenge. Sitting down is an issue. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll update your day's top local news headlines. And
this 11-year-old just landed a job at the White House. We'll take a look at what he'll be doing when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabein.com.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
What's
to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome back, 5:55. Here are some of the top stories on the Suncoast today.
Power crews from here and across the country are working to restore electricity to storm victims locally. The number still in the dark in Sarasota County is 60,000 and 35,000 in Manatee County.
Plus, Sarasota police are collecting donations and supplies for their law enforcement counterparts in the Florida Keys. Donations are being accepted at the Sarasota Police Department headquarters until 3 trailers are full of emergency supplies. They're collecting non-perishable food, water, first aid kits, tools, flashlights, generators, and much more.
And from the world of sports, a new record in the American League for most wins in a row. Cleveland Indians 22 games in a row. Last night, a dramatic walk-off win in extra innings. The overall league record is 26 games, so 4 games to go there in Ohio. And finally, a young boy who wrote to President Trump offering to cut the grass at the White House will get his wish today. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said 11-year-old Frank will help mow the lawn at the Rose Garden. She read Frank's letter to the president at an August press briefing after some testy exchanges about immigration. Frank says he began his own mowing business, helping the neighbors and the lawns there in Falls Church, Virginia. He wrote that he admired the president's business success. He offered to cut the grass and run a weed whacker at the White House, all for free.
Perhaps he should maybe take a accolade out of Trump's book and maybe not do it for free.
Charge? Yeah, well, let's get a foot in the door first. Yeah. That's a neat kid, huh? A little initiative.
I know. That'll be a good experience
Good for him.
We'll have more on John's weekend forecast and more local news in 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world.